It's J Talk. Should you spray your clothes? Welcome to J-ROYL, everyone. This is J Talk, where we have a bit of a talk, a bit of a chat, a little bit of a discussion. As fragrance enthusiasts, we are constantly trying to find ways to make our fragrances last longer. We want to boost the performance. We want everything to radiate for miles. Okay, not everyone, but it is a common trend to see people asking about, how can I make this last longer? Is it the fragrance? Is it me? What can I do? Help me, dude, help me. Well, I'm gonna help you. If you've worn fragrances quite a bit, you'll notice that if you spray your clothes with a fragrance, it will last longer than what it would on your skin. And that's because your skin absorbs the fragrance, and also when you perspire and sweat, it washes it off, basically. Now, if a fragrance is sitting on your clothes, it just sits there. It creates a little patch and then just radiates fragrance. This sounds fine and dandy, right? You know, why don't you just spray your fragrance every time and then call it a day? Well, there's a few issues. The first one being, the fragrance doesn't really develop as it should. A lot of fragrances are formulated to work on skin. They're meant to heat up and cool down and change and evolve. But if the fragrance is on fabric in your clothes, it doesn't really get the chance to do that. It's similar to when you smell a fragrance off of a card rather than on your skin. It will be a bit different for the most part. And because of that lack of development, some fragrances may seem a bit more linear than normal. There is no chance to develop from the top to the mid to the base. It just kind of stays the same. Another issue with spraying fragrances on your clothes, if it's a high concentration of oils, it can damage or deteriorate the fabric if it's delicate. Also, with some beefier, darker fragrances, like this one for example, this will actually stain your clothes. Oil stains are notoriously hard to get rid of, and black Afghano just won't come off. I know, I've experienced it, especially on white. Now that being said, if you're using more of a cologne type of fragrance that's completely transparent, then you won't really have that issue. You can use this guy and get a black Afghano vibe and not worrying about staining your clothes. The final thing about spraying fragrances on your clothes is some fragrances will just last forever on your clothes. So be mindful when you're spraying stuff that you're not gonna wash very often, like maybe scarves or hats or big jackets. If you spray this on some of those, you'll always smell like this as long as you wear it. Spraying your clothes is a great way to boost performance of your fragrances. It'll allow your cologne to linger on longer than it would just on your skin. But be mindful, there are some cases and certain fragrances that you don't necessarily want to smell like it all the time for years and years. Be careful about delicate clothing like fine silks, and also lighter clothing and darker fragrance because they will stain. It's really a case-by-case thing, but in general, I encourage it. Go for it, experiment, just don't ruin your clothes. All of our links to the Facebook group, Snapchat, and Instagram are down below. And if you like what you see, then go ahead and subscribe and like this video. Let's keep this talk going down below, guys. What do you think about spraying fragrance on your clothes? Peace. I get such a nostalgic feeling when I wear this. Although I don't have the fondest memories of my youth in regards to church, don't look into that. It is such a comforting, warming, peaceful smell. Not peaceful in the sense that it's light, because it's not,